Shawam is Yasharala. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. I am disciple of Pariam, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be inspired by this movie that's coming up, I think next year. It's called A24 Civil War. And I just kind of wanted to go into 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. Okay. And I'm going to title this lesson, this is what the chapter is titled. And that's very fitting. It's titled Vengeance on the Wicked. Vengeance on the Wicked. So I'm going to go through, I believe it's 1 through 14, and I will do 15 on down, another lesson, another time. And I think with 15 on down, it would be very appropriate to show you the movie trailer. So that way Esau could see what's going to happen to their precious nation of Babylon, aka America. So without any further ado, let's go to, first I want to start off Jeremiah 50:29. And it reads, "Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow. Camp against it round about, let none of thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she have done proud against the Lord Yahweh Shai, against the Holy One of Israel." Okay, and that recompense is going to be a righteous judgment. Okay, a get back, if you want to call it. All right. And actually, I want to go to verse 9. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country." And, that's going to be, Gog from the land of Magog, and that's Russia. Okay. "And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." And those arrows that it speaks of are the ICBM missiles. Let's go to Isaiah 54:16. And it reads, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." All right. And that smith obviously is someone who creates these missiles. They're obviously they're made out of metal. So that's why it's saying right there. They're hovering over the coals. When you actually, let me see if I could go ahead and open up the Blue Letter Bible. Yep, I just had it right there. So we're in Isaiah 54:16. So we're going to go to the Septuagint real quick. Do it first. And I want to look at that word instrument, okay? Right there. It's Strong's H3627. And it's, I believe it's pronounced kalai. Kalai. That's kala. And yeah, kalai. Yeah. So, anyways, but this word instrument is something prepared, implemented, a utensil. It's any apparatus as an implement. So I believe they use the word weapon here too. So I'm trying to find right now. See here it says implement of hunting or war. So it's basically a weapon. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Vessels. You see it? I'll highlight that. Vessel or weapon. Boom. Okay. Next off, I want to go ahead and get Psalms 7 and 13. It said, He hath also prepared for himself, for him, the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors, and those persecutors, that's Esau, Edom, the Idumeans, your so-called YT people, I want to read the in the NLT too, right? It says, He will prepare his deadly weapons and shoot his flaming arrows. Okay. And so obviously this is allegory, but yes, this is talking about the ICBM missiles. All right, so now let's go back. No. Oh no. Let's see. Salaki, just bear with me because my app is not wanting to work properly. Okay, there we go. Hey, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Came back up. All right. So now we're in 2nd Esdras 15. So I just kind of wanted to read those couple of precepts before I started. It says, Behold, speak thou the ears of my people, the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay? Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And that word incredulity is disbelief. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All right? It says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So I want to start off verse 5. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 6 and 22. All right. So talking about the plagues upon the world. It says sword, famine. All right. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses, which is where food is stored at, shall suddenly be found empty. Okay. So this is what's coming. And, but, we're not to worry about these things. It says, this is scripture, I believe it says, and my servants in that day, they shall eat. All right. So, there could be chaos going around, but the servants, the Lord's going to, put a morsel or something for them to be able to eat in those days. Okay. Let's go to Job. Let's see. Yeah. So, like, I'm jumping back and forth between the different apps. Job 9 and 24. But I want to read this in the NLT. We know we bring this a lot on the camps. It says the whole earth is in the hands of the wicked, and Yahweh blinds the eyes of the judges. If he's not the one who does it, then who is? All right. So we know who the wicked are. All right. That's Esau, Edom. You know. So let's continue on. And 2 Esdras 15 and 6. For wickedness hath has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You know, because Esau, they were given a blessing. They were given the fatness of the earth, right? And look what they've done with their blessing. It's it needs new management, man. All right. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. And behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continuously. So, with verse 8, there's quite a bit to unpack here, okay? Let's see. So first I want to go to Revelations 6 and 10. And it reads, And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And, I have a note here, so I'm going to go look at that note. Yeah, it's talking about Esau. Khan. Let's see. So to Luke 18, 7 and 8. And shall not Yahweh avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? And so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Okay? Let's go to Psalms 148 and 14. It says, and so basically, those if you read verse 8, it does talk about his. I believe it's the word saints in there. Okay. Those are the elect right there. Okay. So yeah. So let's go down to Psalms 148 and 14. It says, actually, let's read up in 13. Let them praise the name of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, for his name alone is excellent. All right. So his glory is above the earth of heaven. In heaven. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord. The test of the late 13th century as moral or virtuous person, one who is pure, upright in heart and life. And those are his chosen that he has chosen. Okay. And then they were there at the very beginning of the world. Okay. So what I mean by that is, if you go to Genesis 1 and 1, those saints, those were the spirits that were with Yahweh Shai, who created the world. Okay. And thus the Alahayim, that's H430, is Alahayim. Okay. And his plural is rulers, judges, divine ones. Okay. I want to go down to 2 because this is 2C. It says works or special possessions of Yahweh. All right. Let's see. So let's go back to Psalms 148:14. And I want to go into that word saints. Strong's 26:23. Okay. And it's chasayad, chasayad. All right. And these are faithful, holy ones, godly men. Okay. Right there. Let's go to Psalms 132:16. It says, I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. Let's see. And this is speaking of during the time of the Maccabean age. It says a party of pious men who opposed Hellenization of Judea. That's seen in First Maccabees 2:42, 7:13, and Second Maccabees 14:6. So yeah, that's a big cut to saints are Christians as well. No, it shows you that that was Israel the whole time. Okay. Now I want to go to Revelations 19, verse 2. It says, for true and righteous are his judgments, for he have judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. All right. And that great whore speaks of is Babylon. Okay. That's aka America. You go to Revelation 17:11. It reads, and the beast that was and is not, even he is of the 8th and is of the 7th. Even he is the 8th and is of the 7th. Salaki, and goeth into perdition. So what that so talk about is the 7th being Great Britain, and and so basically he came of Great Britain. Okay. So he is the 8th. All right. So continuing on, let's go back to 2nd Esdras. Back in 15, I believe it left off in verse 9. It says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. It says, behold, my people, verse 10, is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. All right. And that word Egypt is talking about spiritually Egypt. Okay. Let's go to Revelations 11:8. And it reads, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. That great city is Babylon, okay? Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. It's spiritually likened unto these places, okay? It says where also our Lord was crucified, because they speak incorrectly and ill. It's like in ill of the Lord, here in Babylon. Okay, so essentially you crucified him again. Okay. Let's see. Going back to 2nd Esdras 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And again, that Egypt, it means double straits. And to prove that, we'll go to back to the blue letter and Salaki for all this jumping around, but it has to be done. You have to bring out the word. You gotta pull the meat off the bone, like Apostle Rakah says. So we're gonna go to the word Egypt. Go to the interlinear. You see the Hebrew on top, okay? And let's see. You see where it says Strong's H 4714, okay? So we'll click on that. And it's going to be pronounced, it's Matazarium, okay? So Matazarium. That's how you put it all together from right to left. And it means double straights. You see that? Egyptians, it means double straights. Now, straights, that in plural, when you pull it up in the etymology, it means difficulty or plight. Okay? So let's go back to 2nd Esdras. I believe we left off in the verse 11. Oh, no. Yeah, verse 11. I will bring them in the mighty hand and the stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all their land thereof. And this is a future prophecy because, Egypt still is there, okay? The land of Egypt. So this is, again, Revelations 11 and 8. This is speaking spiritually of spiritual Egypt. Verse 12, and Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with a plague, and punishment with Yahweh had bring upon it. All right. So that's speaking of America. Verse 13, and they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hail, and with a fearful constellation. Okay, you're not gonna be able to grow, and it's just gonna be devastation here. Okay. And verse 14, and woe to the world, and them that dwell within. Okay. So, yeah, man. It's basically woe just means death and destruction. So again, I'm going to continue this on. And I missed back in verse 12. Actually, I wanted to go to Isaiah 19. Read verses 1 and 2. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right. In verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what's coming. And that's why again, this is titled Vengeance of the Wicked. And, that's why I have that picture right there from the movie A24 Civil War. Okay. And we'll get it more in depth into it, and starting in verse 15 in another lesson in the future. But I pray that this lesson was edifying unto the Akim Akwath, listening, learning in truth and sincerity. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Shalom.